Good morning, everybody. And just wanted to send you a video update and kind of walk you through the activities that you will be working on for this week, which is April the 20th through April the 24th. So I've shared my screen with you, and you should see the same screen as well on your course page. And so I want you to notice that the activities that we're doing this week are in a new folder at the top of the page, and the folder color is purple. Now, down below this particular folder is the folder from last week. And I'm only mentioning that because some of you have not completed all of those assignments yet. And I wanted to remind you that those do need to be accomplished simply because we have been instructed that if you are not completing assignments, you are to be given an incomplete. Or if you are completing assignments, but for some reason your fourth quarter average winds up being lower than your third quarter average, we are also supposed to give you an incomplete. And I wanted to make sure you realized that an incomplete does not give you credit for the course. In other words, an incomplete for fourth quarter will not average with what you earned third quarter. So what does that mean for you? Well, it means that you have to get those assignments done over the summer or maybe even into the fall. And that could create problems, particularly if you're trying to be eligible for sports for next year. Or let's say that you're trying to get admission into a particular college and you won't have that credit for the course on your transcript. So it is important that if you did not complete all activities from last week, that you get in there and get those done as quickly as you can. We teachers are trying to be gracious with our grading, understanding that maybe you're having to share devices with family members. And so things won't necessarily always be on time. But again, those activities do need to be done. So let me move on then to what we're doing this week. So if I open up our new folder, again, it's the purple folder. In that folder, at the very top of the page are instructions. And it says, start here, please read first. And you all definitely need to do that because in that particular area are all of the directions for this week's activities. Some of you were emailing me with questions last week, which is fine. You know, if you still need assistance, always feel that you can get in contact with me. But some of you were asking questions that were addressed in the instructional area. And so, again, it would be nice if you could read those first and then maybe not have to use your own time messaging me with things that have already been stated. So notice we have 3 different activities this week. Activity 1 is making corrections on your odontology test. Just wanted to remind you that when you make corrections, you need to rewrite the question or at least some form of the question. And then please do not give letter answers. The answers need to be documented using words. Again, letter answers will not help your brain make the connection between the question and the reason why you missed that question. So again, the first activity is to make test corrections. In the folder itself is a Google form for the test corrections, and that can just then easily be submitted through Schoology. Activity number 2 is basically a forensics file episode called Soul Searching. I know that in the past we've always kicked off a new unit, and our new unit is shoe prints and tire tracks with a forensics file episode. So I know you all like those, and I thought it might be fun for you to actually watch how forensics specialists use footprints to help identify and hopefully then convict a suspect. So again, there's a Google Doc for you to complete the video fact sheet that goes with that forensics file episode. So again, that is in the folder as well. And then activity 3 is an Ed puzzle that basically is a video that goes with the Ed puzzle of a forensics investigator who is a specialist in shoe prints and how he basically identifies the shoe prints and makes copies of the shoe prints and the importance of shoe prints to a forensics investigation. So there is a Google Doc version of that activity as well. Oh, sorry, lost my train of thought there for a minute. But there's a Google Doc to complete for the Ed puzzle. And then going along with that particular activity is a kind of, can you spot the differences between one shoe print versus another shoe print? And the differences are kind of subtle. They are all basically relevant to the tread design. And even though the tread designs for both shoes are the same, there are, again, some subtle differences or wear that has occurred on those particular tread patterns. Now, I do want you to know that there are 10 differences, and I have looked at this numerous times, and I'm only seeing 9 differences. So I thought, well, if I'm kind of having troubles with this, you might as well. So I've made it such that all you really have to do is identify 7 differences to get full credit. But if you've got better eyes than I do, then if you can find additional differences beyond those 7, I am very happy to give you extra credit. So I'm going to go back to the main page here in a minute and open that up and kind of walk you through that a little bit more specifically. But those are the different activities that you'll be doing this week. Again, test corrections, which should not take you long, watching the forensics file episode and documenting on the video fact sheet what you learned from that. And then activity 3 is twofold in that you will be doing an Ed puzzle that goes along with a forensic investigator who specializes in shoe prints, and then working on this little can you spot the difference activities between 2 different shoe prints that are of the same style, they are the same size, and they have the same tread pattern. Again, you're looking for differences that have occurred with wear on those particular tread patterns. So let me go back up to our main page. So notice that I've done something a little bit different. I've put the activities in separate folders. I thought it might be a little bit easier for you to see them that way. So when I open up activity 1, all right, this is the submission page for the Google Doc. We're going to do your test corrections. And if you have not yet taken the test, I have basically restated that you'll need to go back to the previous folder and access that test. So that's what's there. Activity 2 is the forensics file episode. So here's a link so you can see the episode. Here is the Google form that you will be documenting what you've learned from the episode. And it's the same form that we've used when we've watched forensics file episodes in class. I just changed it into a Google form to make it easier for you to submit. So that's activity 2. And then activity 3 is the Ed puzzle. And I've done this a little bit differently in the past because I just learned that you can actually link an Ed puzzle to Schoology so that you all don't have to access a class code to get into the Ed puzzle, and should also make it easier for you to submit. And so when you open that up, all right, there is the video with the embedded Ed puzzle that you're going to be watching. Oh, sorry, I'm trying to get back and I'm unable to do it that way. And then here is the can you spot the shoe differences? So notice we have shoe print 1 and shoe print 2. And when you first look at them, you're thinking, I don't see any differences, but use your powers of observation because apparently there are 10 differences. You are to basically identify and circle the differences when you print this out. If you cannot print that out, I've got another alternative for you, and I'll show you that in a minute. But then you are to write down the coordinates where you located those differences. So again, you've got kind of math class, I guess. You've got 2 sets of coordinates. You've got A, B, C, D, E, and F, and then 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. So let's say you spot a difference here. You would be approximately at C 1.5. So again, I'll be understanding with my grading, but I thought it would be helpful if you could show me other than just circling exactly where the differences are. So let me go back in here. And so you can print that out, all right? And then basically you're going to then attach your photograph after you've printed or written on your own paper, that's fine too, and then photographed your answers. Then you're going to go to a submissions page. Now, your page is going to look a little bit different than mine. There'll be a place for you to submit in this area, and basically you're just adding an attachment to. And you guys seemed like you were pretty successful doing that last week. The one thing I ask though is that if you would submit on the Schoology page, that would be so much better than emailing me your completed activities, simply because I am getting tons and tons of emails from administration, from other staff members, from parents. And so I just worry that if you submit through email, again, you want to submit through Schoology, not through email. But if you submit through email, your completed activity may get buried in the number of emails that I'm getting, and I may not see it. So again, please don't email me completed activities. Submit through Schoology. All right, and then there are obviously, let me go back again here real quick. Sorry about that. There are directions, and there's even a link, all right, that you can access as well, which will allow you to make a copy, excuse me, of a Google Doc that I've set up for you to submit that activity. So I think I might be confusing you, and that's not my plan. But again, you can print, submit, or you can go to this Google Doc, make a copy. Takes it a minute. And submit through the Google Doc. So lots of different ways that you can get this activity to me. So let me get rid of this. Go back to the main page. So again, just a quick little refresher. You're going to read the instructions. You're going to go to Activity 1 folder, complete the assignment, which is test corrections. You're going to go to Activity 2 folder. Remind myself what that is. Oh, watch the forensics file episode. And then you're going to go to Activity 3 folder, complete the ed puzzle, and complete the can you spot the shoe differences. So that's all I have to say. If I think of something else, I'll update you later. But I hope you have a fabulous week. And please, guys, please get these assignments done. And again, any questions, feel free to contact me.